The first thing, Becky. So a third of all of student loan debt is $35,000 or less. So
they didn't explain why this was just a notice on the studentaid.gov website.
Declared the White House doesn't have the authority to act.
Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, we are talking about the Biden administration ends student loan forgivings. But before we continue our video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more interesting videos. Student loan borrowers are now waiting indefinitely to see if they'll receive debt relief under President Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness program after a federal judge in Texas struck down the program Thursday, declaring it illegal. The Department of Justice immediately appealed to the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. But that case will have to play out before the Biden administration can cancel any federal student loan debt under the program. While the Biden administration has faced several legal challenges to the student loan forgiveness program since it was announced in August, the ruling on Thursday is the most significant setback thus far, prompting the Department of Education to stop accepting applications for debt relief. Biden's program was already on hold due to a separate legal challenge, but the administration had continued accepting applications, having received 26 million to date. Under the rules of the program, eligible low- and middle-income borrowers can receive up to $10,000 of federal student loan forgiveness and up to $20,000 in cancellation if they also received a Pell Grant while enrolled in college. The legal road ahead is murky, but it could take many months for the issue to be resolved. The Texas decision makes it more likely that the issue will ultimately go to the Supreme Court, though it is still too early to say, said Abby Shafroth, staff attorney at the National Consumer Law Center. What happens now for borrowers? Borrowers will have to wait for the government's appeal to the 5th Circuit Court to play out. While it can be tough to follow all the various legal challenges, borrowers can subscribe for updates from the Department of Education and check the federal student aid website for further information. It could take months for the court to issue a final ruling. If it overturns the Texas lower court's ruling, then the Biden administration could begin canceling student debt. But the Department of Justice could also ask for an emergency stay of the Texas judge's order. If granted, and if a different appeals court ends its temporary stay on the program in a separate pending case, then the administration would be allowed to cancel debt before a final ruling is made by the 5th Circuit. Initially, the Biden administration said that it would start granting student loan forgiveness before payments are set to resume in January after a years-long pandemic pause. But Thursday's ruling in Texas puts that timeline in jeopardy. For the 26 million borrowers who have already given the Department of Education the necessary information to be considered for debt relief, 16 million of whom have already been approved for relief, the department will hold onto their information so it can quickly process their relief once we prevail in court, said White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre in a statement Thursday. We strongly disagree with the district court's ruling on our student debt relief program, she said. What are the legal arguments? The Biden administration has argued that Congress granted the Secretary of Education the power to broadly discharge student loan debt in a 2003 law known as the HEROES Act, which was passed in the wake of the September 11 terrorist attacks. The government's lawyers argue that the law allows the Secretary to discharge debt in an event of a national emergency, including the COVID-19 pandemic. But the Texas federal judge found that the law does not provide the executive branch clear congressional authorization to create the student loan forgiveness program. The program is thus an unconstitutional exercise of Congress's legislative power and must be vacated, wrote Judge Mark Pittman, who was nominated by then-President Donald Trump. In this country, we're not ruled by an all-powerful executive with a pen and a phone, he continued. The Texas lawsuit was filed by a conservative group, the Job Creators Network Foundation, in October on behalf of two borrowers who did not qualify for debt relief. One plaintiff did not qualify for the student loan forgiveness program because her loans are not held by the federal government, and the other plaintiff is only eligible for $10,000 in debt relief because he did not receive a Pell Grant. They argued that they could not voice their disagreement with the program's rules because the administration did not put it through a formal notice and comment rulemaking process under the Administrative Procedure Act. Where do the other lawsuits stand? Beyond the Texas case, the Biden administration is facing several other lawsuits over the student loan forgiveness program. A lawsuit brought by 6 Republican-led states is pending at the 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. On October 21, that appeals court put an administrative hold on the program, banning the administration from canceling any debt. The states have argued that the Biden administration does not have the legal authority to grant broad student loan forgiveness, as well as that the program would hurt them financially for a variety of reasons. A lower court had dismissed the case, ruling that the states did not have legal standing to sue. The states immediately appealed to the Eighth Circuit. The Biden administration has had several wins in court thus far, as plaintiffs have struggled to show they have standing to sue. One lawsuit, filed by a Wisconsin taxpayers group, was also dismissed by a trial-level federal judge, ruling that the group lacked standing to bring the challenge. The plaintiffs had argued that the loan forgiveness program, which is estimated to cost about $400 billion, would hurt taxpayers and the U.S. Treasury. Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett also rejected the taxpayers group's request for the Supreme Court to intervene. That's all for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed our video. For more videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more interesting videos. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.